Right, a few issues now that the weekend is over. Last week's scare, of course, was that this president would not leave if he lost the election. Well, you lost the first one, but that was due to the popular vote. So we're not really concerned about him trying to stay or what have you. This country is so divided and so volatile right now that if November 4th comes and he starts talking about sending troops anywhere, if he starts talking about he doesn't believe in the election, no one can account for what's going to happen right then. He could easily completely plunge the country into civil war. Only thing he's doing wrong is being a sore loser, that if he loses, put it in people's mind they should do something about it to keep him in power. You're not Palpatine. No one's going to turn over all the powers to you. So I'd advise you just to go. The other big issue is get your guillotine ready. These idiot Republicans who ignored a bill that was passed 2 months ago, and just like with healthcare and everything else, they didn't have an answer for it. Remember, Trump came in for 2 years and made fun of them for bashing Obamacare for 8 years, saying they had an alternative plan. He came in and said, hey, I'll sign it. And of course, as I've known since 92, they never come up with an alternative plan except for to kill healthcare for working Americans. That's the plan. Kill it. There's no alternative that will work better or bring prescriptions down or help more people get medical care that they need. So, that was a cop-out. And this time, same thing with this. The pandemic, let's see how it plays out. We're going to be ready. Let's go ahead and open up things. It's going to slow down the economy, And, of course, gets down to the end. Not a plan in sight. They can't even agree on how they disagree with the Democrats because it was all on different things. And then the White House had a third opinion amongst the Republicans. The White House, the split between the Republicans in Congress, it's just a total clusterfuck. And they're also running around trying to be like, well, the Democrats won't budge and we're trying to get things done. Fuck off with that bullshit. If you want to negotiate, you've been negotiating somewhere between May and last week, and you didn't. And now they're going home for August recess while people get evicted. Not realizing if you actually want to do something for the economy, you would put it in people's hands so that they can continue to pay their bills, which feeds the economy. But you're so afraid to not work for your wage masters. You want to be corporate lapdogs so bad that they're telling you only way we'll work is being starved into submission. You didn't starve them into submission. You gave them trillions in tax cuts. And they still get up and put their pants on one pant leg at a time and go to work. So what the fuck makes you think that if people have $2,400 a month, they're never going to work again? Most of these people are not working because they were making plenty of money or looking to be rich. And being on unemployment is just boring them to death. So if you had played the pandemic right and had a national campaign to shut everything down and starve the pandemic out and let the virus die, most of these people would be back to work, and we might not be talking about this money outside of maybe a couple of months, and maybe you could cut it in half. But with the economy spiraling into a death spin, you have no choice but to extend it at least until you put in a federal mandate for everyone to stay home until this virus dies. Until you take the coronavirus as seriously as you take black people having their rights. If you sent that type of militaristic attitude at coronavirus, the world would be a better place. So you should have been more passive towards Black Lives Matter and more aggressive towards coronavirus, and you'd have had the right mix, except you did it backwards. Well, that's all I have for you tonight. Took too long setting up the lights and everything, so I'm gonna head on to bed. But as usual, fuck you. Don't need you to subscribe. Don't care about your comments. I'm a grown-ass man, so my life doesn't revolve around likes. I'm just some guy, and only I know what's best. Have a great night.